Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Smallville Retrospective. Today we're talking about Season 7, Episode 13, entitled Hero. Before I get into that, I do have something to say about last episode. I keep missing this. You watched the Talkville episodes and they pointed out. So in my review for the last episode, Persona, I said the scene where Alexander puts Clark into an old memory of Lionel being an asshole and throwing out his wife in an argument and all that didn't make any sense. Well, throw it out to Mike Rosenbaum, Tom Welling, and Ryan Tez at the podcast because, especially Ryan, because he's the one that's doing the synopsis and stuff now. Bryce left. He's doing a good job, by the way. But I forgot that in this scene, Lillian mentions Veritas, which becomes very important as the season progresses. So, yeah. I was like, oh, right. I don't know how I forgot that, but yeah. Anyway, this episode, Hero, shows us the return of one Pete the Boss Ross, played by Sam Jones III, and and I remember the TV Guide, because I used to love to collect TV Guides back in the day for some reason. My grandma got me my own subscription there for a while. TV Guide is obsolete now, I think. I don't know if they still do them. But I had one that talked about, because it's either TV Guide or Disney Adventures, but I think this was TV Guide, about how Pete was coming back and he's in that stretchy. They kind of spoiled the whole thing, but he was coming back and everything like that. So yeah, we start at the Stride Gun Factory that has a backstory in this episode that makes no sense. Apparently it's an old gum factory that was shut down. Yeah, and it's like on the main street, it looks like, and a big old Stride logo. I'm just like, no. One, this is 7 seasons and you cannot retcon some fancy building into being in Smallville that we have no idea. We've never seen before, let alone a Stride gum, which is a very popular brand at the time. Even I chewed the Stride gum. I don't chew gum anymore, but even at that point, I did chew the Stride gum. The blue one, the blue mint with peppermint. I don't know. That was my favorite. It was like a cool, refreshing. Green one was alright. It was a spearmint, but it was still. It was alright. But I wasn't always a big fan of mint gum. Like, oh, you chew the mint gum, your breath smells better. Sure, but I like the fruity ones. Like Juicy Fruit was my shit back in the day when I was a kid. Juicy Fruit, right? I mean, I was big in Stride. I remember having like in this apartment, because it's around the time I moved, I had like Stride gum sitting on a table or something. That was my gum. And then as I got older, I stopped chewing. My teeth, I cannot chew gum. I discovered this a couple of years ago. I tried chewing gum. My teeth, my jaws, just not. No, I haven't chewed gum in a long time, so I just cannot chew gum. I was a big gum chewer in high school. For some reason, you ever have this when you were in school, where it was like a warpath with teachers? No gum, no gum, no gum. There's no reason why you can't just have gum. And even now, at where I work, I don't work in the facility, but in the facility, you can't chew gum out on the line. And I think I understand that, because if the gum were to fall in your mouth, they're like, oh, we work with food, so you can't contaminate it. I'm like, well, the food is sealed inside packages, but okay. I guess you don't want to get germs or anything on the outside of the package, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so, we start with Yimmy at the factory. One Republic is playing. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. This is one big commercial, by the way, this whole episode. Chew Stride gum. Go see One Republic. They needed that cash money. apparently. This is... Yeah. Well, Gimme is here with Kara, and Kara's first sentence is, so we used to go to places like this all the time? He's like, yeah. No, you didn't. You guys went to Coast City once. And we also see that Pete Ross is also there. And he asked the guy at the thing, like, hey, I need gum, do you know where I can find some? And he's like, gum factory? Like, oh, right. So he finds this pallet of gum, makes a pack. So we find out later that this gum has just been sitting there because they discontinued it. I don't know how long it's been sitting there, but like, gum, I guess gum can last a while, but like, I don't know. And it's a weird edit where he puts the gum in his mouth, and you could see that he's taken over by meteor rock because it glows when he opens it. That they do when Kryptonite is shown. It makes no sense. Okay, I want to point this out. 7 seasons. Why is it that meteor rock only glows when someone's right next to it? It could be just laying there, but as soon as someone walks up to it, it's like, was it an activation thing? Is it like a proximity alert for the thing? I don't know. But it's like, for instance, in the episode where Lana gets powers, he walks by it, and like you don't hear anything until he's close and it's jing and then just By the way, I brought up in a subsequent episode the Clark just throws the meteor rock away at one point. Like when the plot calls for it, it doesn't affect it as much as it should. And there's a point in this we're going to talk about later. But Peter's there, he's chewing a gum, and he sees that this speaker is about to fall on Kara. And I'm like, she would have been fine, but I guess she doesn't have, I forgot she doesn't have powers. But like Pete, they're super stretchy. And I just remember, even back in the day when this episode came out, they went, what powers do we need to promote Strike Gum. What powers do we give Pete? Stretchy? That's what it seemed like. It's gum, so he's stretchy. Makes sense, I guess. It works. And Jimmy is able to get it on his phone, and this picture is going to cause a big problem for me. Because this is a 2007 flip phone. And 2007 flip phone cameras were ass. I know, because I had a flip phone with a camera, and it was ass. Especially since I believe all the cameras in there are Sprint, which is what I had was Sprint, and Sprint sucks. I switched to Verizon, and now I'm on Spectrum. Now it doesn't matter so much matter your phone. That you can go, you take your phone and go anywhere. Now back then, you had to be specific. So, yeah. We get the opening credits, and then awkward. I watched this scene twice. Awkward. So, it's time for a cup of Morning Joe with Clark, Lana, and Lionel as they discuss what they're going to do about Kara and her powers. And then just goes, Clark says, maybe her bracelet, if we can find it. Lionel, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he says some words that make you go, well, he has it. Yes, but I thought that you couldn't find it. I'm like, okay, so you have it. How many times have been, like, at this point, Clark should go, oh, you have it. Even later, when Peach shows him that he has it, he's just like, how are you not surprised by now? Also, I am very frustrated with Lionel. Like, at this point, he should not be lying to people. Next episode will be very frustrating because I read the first few lines. But I understand why it happens, but we'll get to it. This just doesn't... I don't know. So then Kara is confiding in Lex that she can't remember anything and all that. And, yeah. we're not done. So, as Lionel goes to leave, he opens the door, and who should be there but Pete Ross himself, who is very confused as to why Lionel is there. He's like, oh, what? Like, Pete, what are you doing here? He's like, more importantly, what's he doing here? And they're just like, I did think it was weird that he's just having coffee with him, and he and Lana do not like each other at all, but they portray this as if it's like a morning routine where he comes by for coffee, and Lana hates him. I don't know. He's like, oh, maybe some things have changed. Yeah. So he and Clark play a little basketball, and he shows Clark his stretching moves and says, unlike you, I'm going to tell the entire world. He starts to babble about he had to protect your secret, Clark, and I'm not unlike you, I'm not gonna hide who I am, and all this, and automatically, okay, it's the meteor rocks. And even watching it back then, I went, really, we're doing this? You have a chance to bring back Pete. I saw the thing, he's gonna get powers. Cool. And it's just like, no, they're just doing the stock plot. Someone gets powers, and because it's the meteor rock, they have to go evil, even though Chloe huh? Like, Chloe has meteor powers, and she's not evil. And you said, oh, it's because she has healing powers. Really? So because he's stretchy. What lead? I mean, he wrapped himself around you and choke you to death, I guess. But I don't know. But like, and of course, Clark's first response is, "We need to figure out a way to cure this." He's like, well, "Come on, Clark. You're just jealous." We go to the Daily Planet where we find illegal activity. Yes. First of all, Scotty gonna be bitching. So, Chloe is having problems with her computer working, and then she finally gets back into it, and Yimmy shows up. She says, "Hey, did you give me my email?" She's like, "I've been kind of busy trying to get this to work, but here," and it's a crystal clear picture of Pete saving Kara. I went, no. It would not be that fucking clear in 2007 on a crappy ass Sprint flippy phone camera. As I mentioned, I had one of those phones like that with the camera like that. And even if you're standing completely still and you take a picture, it's still blurry as hell. No way he's going to have a crystal clear picture like that. It infuriates me that this came, and this is not like in retrospect where it's like, oh, this takes place in 2007. We have to have it. No, this came out in 2007, 2008, whatever. 2008, flippy phone, Sprint, dinky camera. It would not be that crystal clear. It would not. It would not. Oh, hi, Mark. So, yeah. And we also find out that because all of a sudden the picture goes zoop, email, and it goes directly to Alexa's computer, that is illegal as fucking hell. Why is the government not in... This is some Big Brother shit. This is illegal. You cannot do that. She should get the government involved. And she's like, you can't spy on us, Lex. He's like, I can do what I want. No, you can't. You are the editor-in-chief. You own the place, but you cannot spy on them. That is illegal. She could go to the FBI, and she could... I mean, he has connections, but still. Still, this is illegal as hell. And now he knows that Pete has powers. Also, Jimmy says that Pete wants to tell his story. And I'm sorry, this is a world where there have been meteor freaks and aliens and all this stuff. I know the code of aliens, but Smallville has seen its share of meteor freaks. He's like, oh hey, I was affected by meteor rocks. and now I can stretch. Everyone in Smallville. I've seen worse. I mean, come on. Then Lex works on manipulation as he shows Kara the symbols that were burned into the Camp Marne, and the symbol that was on Lana's back in season 4, and other symbols that connect. That shows that Clark and Lana are lying to her. And I wanted to this whole episode. Just fucking tell her! Like, this is... Look. By the end of this episode, I was just screaming, just tell her. Because at this point, it's just like... And it's the same writing we've had. Where it's like, oh... and it's because... They can't tell her the truth. Because they have nothing for her the rest of this season. So it has to be, she still has no memory. We can't tell her anything about her past. Even though it makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. Right away I'd be like, oh, here, this is yours. You're from a planet called Krypton. Your name is Kara Zor-El. And you know, so am I. Look what I can do. You could do that too. But we need to get your powers back. And the only reason they don't is because we need to stretch this out for about 4 or 5 more episodes. Or 7 more episodes, excuse me. For the plot to work. They have nothing else for her this season. One more thing, but... Yeah. That's it. So... Because of this whole thing with the computer, I'm very confused by this. So, Pete, I'm just calling him Sam. Pete sneaks in and puts a virus on Lex's computer, which affects every computer there. And it's framed as he's trying to save them from Lex spying on them. But if it affects every computer, then what's the point? But he's found by Lex, who says, hey, I know about your secret, but he's like, I want you to go steal something from my father's vault for me. This is where it's confirmed. Oh yeah, it's the bracelet, you know. And if you don't, I'll expose Chloe being a media freak to the world. Again though, Chloe Sullivan was affected by meteors in Smallville, and she can heal people. Everyone in Smallville. That's it? I'm just saying, the rest of the world will be like, oh my god. And then like, you know? So, now he's forced to sneak in, use his stretchy powers. Like, but how does that get him into the vault exactly? I was getting garbage at this time. You know? But he gets it. Clark is there to stop him, but he uses the meteor rock on him. Kryptonite on him, and says, maybe you don't know your buddy as close as you do. And then does he leave the bracelet there? Because he tells Lex he doesn't have it. He never got it. So he just did that to show Clark. We have to go back to the factory. Anyway, there are 3 One Republic songs here. The first 2 played at the beginning. We have Apologize and Stop and Stare. I don't know the third one. I didn't know this one. But they're playing Apologize again because they only have 3 songs to promote. When Clark does go back and he finds the... this is before this, I guess. He goes back to check the factory and finds meteor rock. And then later he's like, he's infected by meteor-infected gum. I destroyed it. How did you destroy it if it's affected by meteor rock? Did you use your laser vision? Skunkator does not have laser vision. He uses heat vision, right? I don't know. They showed it, I missed it. I was getting the garbage around the same time. Because I had to get 4 different garbages. I got that one there, this one by beside me, this one in there, and then the bathroom one once I get. So I'm walking around the whole apartment. So the bedroom, because I don't need to go to the bedroom. Yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't have it, so he threatens. Well, Pete just until Lex is still smart and knocks him down. Clark comes to save the day, and he does. Lex is obviously full villain now, but whatever. Um, so then Clark and Pete, they sort of reconcile. Like, hey, you know what? We're cool. And next time you come, maybe we'll have a better time. And I'm like, we never see him again. We never see Pete again. He's gone. He's gonna go to Blue Mountain State. Literally, that's the next show he's on after this. So, yeah. And we get a scene that confirms how old Clark was when he landed on Earth. Yes, because the day of the meteor shower has taken place in 1989, which means Clark would have been at 2. Almost 2. If it was early on, because his birthday is like... Unless they go by that, the day they found him being the birthday. But if they say like May... Oh yeah, that would make sense. Because in this universe, they graduated in May 15th. Which makes no sense. Because back then, even me, I graduated a year after they did in the show. I graduated early June. So now it's like May, but back then it was June for me, the early June. Yeah, like the first week of June, or a half week or something, and then you go. Is it back then? Anyway. So yeah, he was 2 years old when he crash landed, which explains the, looking big for the age. I said 4 before, but 2 makes sense. It's also because all the stars have aligned. The last time it was like that was the day of the original meteor shower. Which doesn't mean there's going to be another one because they don't mention... Oh, it was also that way back in May of 2005. They don't do that, so it's only here. Something else is going on. Carol before they can even finish the conversation, Carol walks in and asks, I don't like living with Clark and Lana. Can I stay with you? He didn't say it like that, but basically. And it's like, yeah, if they just told her the truth. Like, 7 seasons in and we still think lying is the best approach to people. Right? Like, if you had just been forward with Lex, he might not have been their enemy, but maybe, I don't know. And then we see that I was about to throw the chair. Clark has the bracelet. And he just gonna hide it. He puts it in the box, the kryptonite lead box, and puts it in a hole in the barn. And I'm just like, they have nothing for her, nothing, or they would have told her right away. This makes no sense. This is not like someone that they don't trust. This is his cousin. Why won't they tell her? Because they have nothing for her for the rest of the season. So they need this to be something. It's clear they had one singular thing for her to bring her in. And they're like, well, we got nothing else. Write her off for a few episodes. And then, we bring her back. What do you got for her? Nothing. She's got amnesia. They wasted her. I'm sorry. And it's all because they made her too OP. She can fly. She's got all these powers. And then you have Clark. So you can't have her with that. And her having no memory somehow means she has no powers. And they never explain how she got to Detroit. Why it affected her like that. How she got zapped out. Nothing. I'll give this a 2.5. That's what's gone down. I was like, oh yeah, I want Pete. That was cool. It's okay. It's okay. It's 2.5. Superman, that goes out of 5. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me comment, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.